Hey y'all, it's been a while.
Hey.
It's Ben and Andrea here at VW Family Farm. We're out. We've got a lot to do today and just pulled the camera out. We're going to take you guys around with us, show you all what's been going on. It's probably been a month since we've had a video out. So
it's been crazy.
It's been crazy. We're going to tell you all kind of what's going on around here. When you're just too tired to eat, but you're hungry. What's up, girl? Don't worry, Tom is safe. One thing, they're gonna be here any day, any minute to put up our second high tunnel. Super excited.
So it's cold weather right now. We're giving them these chickens some whole corn and some sunflower seeds. Just builds their internal body temperature up.
And they're ready for it.
And also it gets them away from the gate. That way I can get in.
I saw a video where someone poured their chicken feed on the ground in the shape of a heart and all their chickens lined up. We're gonna try it. Well, we did way too small of a heart. We'll try again tomorrow. First off, let's address the fact that you're using your arm. Woo!
I'm not supposed to be lifting the bag yet.
You're mainly using the other arm, yeah. The right arm's just support. How are you feeling?
Feeling good. Feeling good. Been doing good. Been doing physical therapy now for what, 4 or 6 weeks, something like that. Got another month of it left. Then I gotta go back to work.
Oh, boo. So Ben has been off work since like mid-September. Obviously for a pretty major shoulder repair surgery, which wound up being actually more than I think we thought it was gonna be as far as how like much they did inside. So it's taken some recovery for sure. But I will say it has been, to me, I don't know, Ben, you can chime in. You feel differently. I think it's actually been a pretty great time being off. Pretty great time.
Oh, it has.
Pretty much being off all fall together. We have accomplished a lot. I mean, you can do a lot one arm.
One arm, yeah.
Ben can probably do more one arm than most people can do if they had 4 arms. So we've got a lot accomplished. We thought we were going to go on a vacation. We didn't do that.
But we have been driving.
Driving?
Yeah. Drove to Missouri.
Oh yeah, a couple of road trips. So I'm going to show you what we went there for here in just a bit on the video. But yeah, we took a couple day trips and just
got away.
Kind of lived like we're retired. One thing right now, we're just super duper busy. You can see these pigs down here at the woods. Ben and I moved these down here ourselves. We've shuffled pigs around. You saw all the pigs in the barn. All of that are things that the kids used to help us do. And so it's Ben and I now, and that is okay. It's just, it takes time and takes teamwork. Thankfully, he's been here this fall to help do it. We're going over now to feed some steers. We have kind of found a really good system we like with feeding and finishing out beef. We don't ever want like a feedlot type setup. Don't ever plan to have that. I will just go ahead and tell y'all, back several years ago, we actually tried that. Look, before YouTube, before we knew anything about like rotational grazing or grass feeding or really anything like that, we put beef up in a corral and fed them. You just keep increasing their feed. It's a lot of corn until you may get up to feeding them, I don't know, 25 pounds a piece, maybe more. Really just feeding them as much as they will possibly eat, to where, and this is gross, but it's just something you need to know if you're eating grain finished beef, like traditional from like a feedlot especially. They're just straight up pooping grain, because that's all they're eating. And then and a lot of people say, well, every beef is grass fed, and they are, but if you're pumping them, you know, giving them 25 pounds of feed, it'd be like putting candy in front of a kid and putting, you know, broccoli. Which one do you think a kid is going to choose? Well, beef are not much different. They're going to choose the grain. And so it's just a gross situation. We're not doing that anymore. And what we are doing is they stay in pasture their entire life. And then the last few months, we feed them maybe 5 pounds a day, depending on how many are in the group. It's never a large amount, but it's just enough to give them some finisher grain. But they mainly eat grass, and it has turned out a beautiful, beautiful product. Here they are coming up to us over here. How many do we have left, Ben? 7?
In this pen right here,
there's 9, but 2 of them are my milk cow calves, so I guess we got 7 left to process, and then we're gonna have a pretty good gap for a while, but that's gonna stock our market up. So
one of them's my special.
Yes. Yeah, I guess one of them is not getting processed right now because Ben is saving it for himself and he wants to try it out, but I'm very much not impressed with it. I don't think he is either, if he would honestly admit it. It's a Wagyu, and that's very expensive beef that's like marbled with fat and all kinds of things. It's just, it has not grown off well. It looks poor compared to the others.
They're not going to grow off like an Angus or most beef breeds. That's one reason they're so expensive, is because it takes so long to finish them out. I mean, it can take 3 years to get a good one.
I can see that, because I have 2 milk cow calves in this pen that we just weaned like a couple months ago. They weigh the same, and this thing was born in 2022. Yeah. So, but I'm going along with it. I don't care. I don't care if we do it. It's probably going to be good. It's just definitely not been efficient.
But it's kind of like the Mangalitsa. We tried that. Everybody talked about how great it was and all that. It was good, but for me, it was too much fat.
Yeah.
And that may be the same thing with this Wagyu. I don't know.
Right.
But I'm going to try it.
I'll just get out and show you guys which one it is. Give you a visual. This is probably like a 900 pounder. The oddballs here are this one. That's Miracle's calf, who was just weaned not too long ago, and she's almost as big as them. And then where's the other one? That one. That one belongs to Butter, my milk cow. So the rest of these are around 900 pounds, and then that's the Wagyu right there.
Okay, but look at that one's number.
2239.
Look at the Wagyu.
2233.
I mean, they're kind of close now.
He's just
bulkier.
He's bulkier. That's what I was gonna say. He's thinner, but see that thin face?
That's just Wagyu.
That's just part of them. They got that longer, thinner face. See how beefy he is? And these are, they're just like filled out. I don't know how well you can see it on camera. He's just not filled out. Let's look at him from the head on. See, buddy?
He's like, you making fun of me.
You need to grow. He's so tame though, I do like that. But these are them. So for reference, that's a 50-pound bag, and there's 9 of them in here. So you can see they're not getting a lot by volume. I think that's one thing we've learned though, is that you can do things how you want. You don't have to pick completely grass-fed and feel like you're eating deer meat because it's so gamey and wild tasting. Not that all grass-fed is, but it can be. But you don't also have to go the other extreme and feed them 25, 50 pounds a day. You can give them a little bit in a hybrid type system, and I feel like have a really good product, but not go overboard with the grain either. That's just my personal thoughts, and we found a huge customer base that feels the same way and is happy with their end product. I don't know how well y'all can see it. There's the core of the hay, the middle of the hay bale, and then we rolled some out before that. I want to do a video on that soon. We're actually in a program through the NRCS office, and every time I say that, people are like, what in the world are you saying? NRCS, Natural Resources Conservation Service. You probably have one if you're in America in your county. It's a government program, but we're actually in a program to roll out our hay and to grass graze our cows. And a lot of people are against those types of things about, you know, taking government help or whatever. But they're paying people to roll out their hay. They're paying people to rotate their cows. And we are doing those things anyway. And farmers can use all the help they can get. Were you saying something?
You said grass grazing, or rotationally grazing, moving them around paddock to paddock. It's all about soil health.
Soil health and water conservation, things like that. That's what they're concerned with. I'm standing here at the gate. Ben is heading out to put out some mineral. Another thing that's been going on is at the market, if you're new around here, we put in a market this year here at our farm to sell our farm products, our meat and honey and all kinds of things. We got inspected by the health department, which was fine. We knew it was coming. And in fact, we actually called them, which some people would be like, okay, you're crazy for that. But we knew they were going to show up at some point, and we just felt like it was better to do things like we should from the get-go. We had a lot of things right on the market. If you go back and look, we put in temp sticks in all the freezers and coolers. That has helped tremendously. That was required. Didn't know that, but it was. So that we had that right. We had a lot of things up to par, but we had a few things that were not. So we've been redoing some sinks. You have to have sinks approved, and we do have a bathroom in our market that you have to have your septic system approved. Even though it's not a public restroom, you still have to do that. So that has created some more work for Ben. And so actually we just got off the phone with them. We're working through that. We are about to get all of that done, so the market will be complete. We thought it was complete, but here we are. So we're about to get that complete. So just lots of animal things going on, lots of things with the market. The market has blown us away. I just cannot even convey that to you guys. Some of you guys have drove from other states to come. I just cannot even believe it, and I just want to say thank you. And I'm about to show you another huge thing that Ben's been working on.
Another NRCS project that I've been working on is watering tanks. We call them, or they call them, tire tanks. We've already had a main water line run down this whole pasture. It's like a little over a mile long, and every so often there is underground quick connect valves. What that is, and when the kids were here, we was always just moving the water troughs from paddock to paddock to paddock. But getting this program now, we're going to install these permanent tanks, and all I did is come to right there, teed in, brought it over here, stubbed up a water line. This is going to be a drain line. We'll put a tire tank here.
Which is literally a tractor tire.
Literally a tractor tire. We'll show them in just a minute. But you'll go in here, you'll subsoil this down about 6 inches, and then you'll put some fabric down, and then put rock on top of that. That's called a heavy use area. That way they don't just trample it into mud.
So we're actually installing 5 of those, and Ben's doing them himself. You can hire people to do it, but in any of these programs like this, the more things you can do yourself, you may even come out making a little money. If we were willing to just purchase a greenhouse and put it up, we could probably actually make a profit. We just don't have the time, or it's just the 2 of us, the energy to install a huge high tunnel right now. So, but on this project, Ben is doing them. He's doing 5 of them. I think we were gonna do originally 9, but we got approved to do 5, and now we're deciding 5 just may be it forever.
So I started a few days ago installing all the water lines, and that went really quick. But then yesterday I started on subsoiling and trying to get everything.
Explain that to them, what you're saying.
Subsoiling is just getting the top surface of soil off of there, taking it down roughly 6 inches. That way, like I said, you can build that back up with gravel, and it's not like just putting gravel on top of the ground and then it'll eventually just kind of go away, or they'll walk it away. So right out here, Andrew's gonna turn it around, and I've started, this is my second one. I got halfway done with it last night and then quit. And you can see how much I've subsoiled it out.
So you can see 6 inches is not just like breaking up the dirt. You got to actually dig down a little bit. Did you say it's a 25-foot square?
25-foot square.
Yeah.
You're going to do 12 foot or 12.5 foot on the other side of that wire.
Yeah. So it's a good little area. Then we'll put the black fabric down, and then we'll put the gravel. And in the middle of that process, we'll put the tractor tire up there, and you pour the bottom full of concrete.
So this one right here is halfway done, and we'll run up here to this other one that's fully done.
Just as we're passing by, another huge project completed is the turkeys. They were processed. The big schooner is empty. So there you go. Our hot wire that goes down the middle of our field is kind of in the middle of that big square. That's how big it is. So we talked this morning. I'm gonna take you guys up and I'm gonna milk, and I'm gonna show you kind of the last part of this video of what's been going on. But we talked this morning, and 2025 is gonna look different for us. We're tired.
Yes.
We are tired. 2024 is one for the record books for us. 2 kids married.
Never want to do that again.
Two you know, pretty big undertakings with pulling off 2 weddings months apart. Obviously, we were not the parents of the bride for the first one, so all of the wedding responsibilities didn't fall on us, but other things did, you know, other responsibilities for that process. And then with Emily getting married, it's just a lot. It's a lot when any kid gets married, but a daughter, whew. And it's just how it is. We wouldn't trade it for the world, but it was a wild ride this year. And lots of projects, building a market. Ben's had 2 pretty major surgeries. It's been a lot. So 2025 is going to be the year of the slowdown for us. We're not going to stop doing anything. We're just going to not take on extra things. Like all these projects we're wrapping up, we're not going to replace them with more projects. Also, these guys are in the corral because they are leaving the farm, sadly. We'll miss you guys. So that's our 2 South Pole bulls. They're both registered. Fantastic bulls. Ben posted them, and I think he sold them within a day. And they're just, it's time for new blood here, I guess. We kept heifers, and that's what happens when you keep heifers out of them. You have to change bulls periodically. So they're going to a new home. They're going together, so that's good because they're used to each other. They get along, but they're leaving. Okay, I'm taking you guys out here to show you kind of the last little section of this video of where we've been and what we've been doing. So I have milked cows for a long time. Probably, I don't know, off and on for 10 or 12 years. I've always just had a cow or 2. At one point I worked up to, I had 8 milk cows. Crazy, it was a lot. A lot for one person that's doing it, and I was trying to homeschool kids. And just little small operation, not really set up. No tank or anything the milk was going into, so it was just a lot. But I kind of burnt myself out, and I was obviously selling it to people as I try to get in this game. Okay, I made it in the game. I was selling it to people obviously because 8 milk cows, that's a lot of milk for even like a huge family. Not to mention there was 4 of us. So I was selling it. I tried the glass jars. It was a fiasco in itself. I tried plastic jars, jugs. They just got more and more expensive. It's just a whole deal. It's had its own little storyline. So eventually I just kind of quit altogether. And then I decided I wanted to give it a go again because I missed raw milk. And raw milk is such a really amazing superfood. You should look into it, especially if you think you can't handle milk. give raw milk a try. Just all the things. I like to make yogurt, kefir, all the things with it. So I decided to give it a try. Love it this time around. I've learned so much. I think you learn by mistakes, honestly. I've learned a lot, and I've kind of whittled it down to where I kind of have it going like I want it, and I enjoy it. And I'm back to doing it in glass jars, and I kind of have the pickup times. This is just for somebody out there that's thinking about selling milk. Kind of have the pickup times to where I can handle it. You can't let people come 24/7. I mean, you can, and if that works for you, that's great. Didn't work for me. But so I kind of have it set up like is sustainable for me, and we've been slowly adding to our little herd, and we wound up testing. Let me flip you guys around as I tell you this. You can kind of get a visual of what I'm talking about. So obviously they're eating. You're going to see them from the back. So let me start at the beginning. The OGs. You can see Miracle right there. She has her own playlist here on YouTube. Butter, she's right beside her. I'm not gonna get too close because I don't want to scare them off. There's Butter, right there. She came here with her mom, was my first milk cow. Her name was Mama Cow. And Butter came as a little wild calf. I trained her, I've loved her. She's not super old, but she's probably, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. She may be 6 years old or something. Like I said, she was a baby when she came. She's had several calves here. She's been a great cow. So we had those two, and they are due here in the next month. They are bred to our South Pole bulls. So I went and bought these two. Let me see if I can get closer and show you them. So this right here is Rosemary. She is a sweetie. Say hey. That's Rosemary. And then beside her, her name is Fancy. They came from a nearby farm. Really sweet girls, easy to milk. And I just got to thinking, you know what? I'm gonna test and see if I have any A2. So I tested those two girls first and Butter. And these two came back, both of them are A2. And Butter came back A1. So if you're unfamiliar with that, it has to do with the beta casein in their milk. And A2 is the most highly digestible form. And so that's why you should try that if you have trouble with milk. That's not some far-fetched conspiracy theory or whatever. That is proven scientific, experimented. It's just, it's proven. It's not some crazy theory. A2 is the most highly digestible form of milk. So, of cow's milk, I should say. So, got those two, and I was like, score! 2 out of the 3 we tested are A2. I was so pumped. So I got to thinking, I want to move in that direction because there's a demand for it, okay? Fast forward, we found some more up in Missouri. That's what Ben was telling you about. We made a road trip, and that is these two right here. One is named January. That's January. I'm trying to point where y'all can see it. That's January. That one's name is Pyrenees. They are registered jerseys. Aren't they cute? I love their coloring. They are so friendly. Show them how friendly you are. Okay, you're gonna run. All right. Anyway, they're super friendly. They're first-time heifers. One, January right here is gonna calve in about 2 weeks. Pyrenees is set to calve in February. They're registered and they're A2. So now, at that point, I've not tested Miracle yet, so I have, let's see, what is that? 4 out of 5 are A2 at that point. So then I tested Miracle, and when I went and bought January and Pyrenees, who are, like I said, first-time heifers about to calve, I bought this little cute blondie. Her name is Eleanor. She came from the same farm. She's registered Jersey. She is a heifer. I really love her blonde color. She is due to calve the 4th of July, actually, and she is bred to a registered A2 bull, but they didn't know yet if she was A2 or not. So the last two I had to test were Miracle and her, and that would be testing all 7. I have 7 milk cows. Just got those results back, and Miracle is A2. I was so pumped because, guys, Miracle has a permanent home here. It doesn't matter how bad she acts or what she does. She is just, I cannot get rid of her. I love Butter also. Butter is not, you're just attached to some animals. I'm just attached to Miracle. And so to find out she was A2, I would love it if all 7 of them were. Eleanor was not. So that means 5 out of 7 are A2. I was elated. That's really great odds if you ask me. So that's another thing we've been doing, is building up this A2 herd. And I'd really like to move towards registered jerseys. Not because I have to have a paper, really could care less, but there are people that do care about that. So I'm gonna have some registered A2s and some unregistered, and that is okay. I'm probably going to be parting ways with Eleanor and Butter. So if anyone is interested in either one of those, Butter is due to calve right around Christmas. So she would make someone a really, really great milk cow. Just because she's not A2, I mean, raw milk is still amazing for you, and you could get it, you can get one at a much cheaper price. When you attach the A2 label, the price goes up. We found that in shopping around, and we're talking people are paying $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 for A2 milk cows, especially that have a calf with them. It's nothing to pay $4,000. That's and no calf. So, or one like that's bred, and yeah, bred, you've got a calf coming, but you can't bank on that. Anything could happen. So the thing about starting with an A1, you can learn on them and you can get them for a much cheaper price to get your foot in the door. And then like something like Butter, if anyone's interested, she is bred and about to drop a calf, and that calf is going to be half Jersey, half South Pole. So that would make a fantastic beef to raise up for your freezer, because it is half beef breed. So if anyone's interested in either one of those, and Eleanor and Butter, both are going to be for sale. They're both registered. They're both registered jerseys. So anyway, just throwing that out there. And that's where I've been, is working on that whole project. Super excited. Milking's going really, really well. I'm getting out of I'm getting out of Fancy and Rosemary about 5 gallons, milking once a day. And then they have calves on them the rest of the time. So it's going really well. I am going to hop off here and get busy. Got to package all these eggs. The market's open here in a couple hours. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, and God bless.